In these coaching tips videos, I'm going to provide coaches and athletes with some pointers and tips on how to improve technique. Here we look at bounding. A bound occurs when you transfer from one foot to the opposite foot, i.e. right to left and so forth. You're predominantly going for distance and have a benefit for all events, from sprints to throws and even distance running. They are what's known as a plyometric activity. Let's take a more detailed look. Here Paul stutters in a little bit into the takeoff, and this affects his trajectory. Looking in slow motion now, we'll see that as he comes into the takeoff, it's not smooth. Consequently, he tends to go up a little bit rather than forwards. It's important to get the hip away from the body as you swing through into each phase. This becomes more evident looking at Jonathan. The hip extends more fully in front of the body. Here in slow motion, his takeoff is also helped by a much smoother approach. As I mentioned, the hip needs to move away from the body. There it goes. Foot strike under the hips also needs to be active. The heel comes back towards the landing surface. This will minimise loss of speed. Back to Jason, and this time we're looking at arm action. Jason's using a double arm action. See the arms being driven behind the hips and then forwards on each contact. This will aid propulsion. Let's take a look closely at Jonathan's single arm action. See, the arms will separate on takeoff. Really, one should be extended forwards and the other one behind to create more length across the body. A single arm action can result in more rotation across the body, i.e. a dip to the left or right, and is therefore less balanced. In terms of their usage, I get long jumpers to use a single arm action and triple jumpers who use a double arm to use a double arm, therefore to make it more relevant to their event. Okay, more on ground contacts and takeoff angles. Thigh is advanced in front of the body, with the foot striking under the hips. The position of the knee is held in flight before the foot strikes the ground quickly to transfer momentum from phase to phase. The advancing leg, the one in front, the angle needs to be closed and then open between phases before ground contact is made. A little bit more on the foot position. The foot, as I said, needs to be kept closer in to the body at the point of takeoff. It then advances throughout the flight phase, is held, and then prior to landing is pushed away to create the active takeoff. If you open the angle too soon, i.e. at takeoff, then you will lose momentum. I'll often say to the athletes, don't open the gate too soon, using this as an analogy for what they need to think about when they take off, go into the flight phase and then into the landing phase. A final word on angle of takeoff. It's important to keep it shallow, as this will maximise the transference of speed between phases. Think of skimming a stone across a pond. You have to throw it at a low angle to get it to skip, and the principle's the same, to maximise speed. Hopefully this short video on my coaching tips will help those athletes you coach, and if you're an athlete, your own performance. Do check out other videos on my channel where we go into more detail about bounding and plyometrics and triple jump and long jump, for example. Thank you for listening and watching.